If you've been following the news, you have surely seen that virtually every business mogul, financial expert, and economist has warned us that a financial crisis is looming. In today's video, we will learn how to prepare for the recession and benefit from a crisis. According to Jamie Dimon, the Chief Executive Officer of JP Morgan Chase, an economic hurricane is coming. Elon Musk is laying off employees at his companies because, in his opinion, a recession is imminent. Bill Gates predicts that the world economy will stall this year. 70% of Americans believe that a recession is imminent. It appears that the economy is about to collapse. But don't be too alarmed. I will share with you some strategies I'm doing to prepare for the recession. You see, recessions are nothing new. Although they may sound like a disaster, they are a crucial component of the economic cycle. It is typical for the economy to reach a turning point before gradually slowing down to rebuild the momentum for the next move up. But if you look closely, you'll see that recessions were much more frequent before the Federal Reserve was established. The economy would reach its pinnacle after 2 to 3 years of expansion, then slow down before experiencing its next boom. Since the establishment of central bank and its manipulations, economic expansions lasting 6, 7, or even 8 years, they have been increased significantly in frequency until we shattered the previous record of 10 years and 8 months. Given that we experienced a recession during the pandemic and that another one is approaching before it has even ended, it appears that we have reached the apex of using the Fed's policies to prevent recessions. The question is, how can we get ready for the next recessions? How can we take advantage of the looming crisis? And how can we ensure that we can financially recover far better from the recession? By no means, these are not investment advices. Here are 5 things I'm doing. Please do your own research. Number 5. Avoid incurring more debt. People will struggle if they haven't organized themselves to survive a downturn. Many individuals take on debt when they are unable to meet their fundamental necessities, and if an inflationary or financial bubble causes a recession, the Fed will hike interest rates in order to deflate the bubble, making debt more expensive at this time. When the housing bubble was at its peak in 2007, the Fed increased interest rates to 5.25%. Imagine what the prices were for consumers like you and me. The Fed increased the rates to 6.5% in 2000 during the dot-com bubble. Because they frequently find it difficult to conserve money, the underprivileged may have to turn to borrowing during a recession to put food on the table. But the rich don't have to do that and can utilize their surplus funds to benefit from the opportunity presented by the crisis. At all costs, I am not getting into more debt. Number 4. Avoid cashing out. When everything is expanding, patience is simple to maintain. If you bought Bitcoin at $11,000 before it skyrocketed in value, you have probably seen how quickly your possessions increased in value. The reality is that during a bad market, the exact reverse occurs. Many people lose patience and start selling because they believe that the world is about to end. The stock market has endured many devastating world events. Look at the Vietnam and Iraq wars, World War II, the Great Depression, and numerous recessions. Timing the market is not as simple as you might think. The investors who actually gained money were either those who sold before everything crashed, which is rare or even nearly impossible, or who patiently waited until the crisis subsided and equities started to rise once more during the expansion period. Back in 2008 market crash, I watched my life savings retirement portfolio decrease by 40% within a matter of months. I heard many stories among friends and families who sold out due to fear. They ended up losing even more because they later bought back at the high. I left my account alone and regained everything, plus some, by 2010. Although I have suffered significant losses in 2022, I am quite certain that everything will turn around. I am not cashing out during the recession. Number 3. Invest in liquid businesses. Because money is tight amid the financial crisis, many businesses frequently drastically decrease or even declare bankruptcy. It is expected that a number of enterprises would close. Even large firms like Chrysler, General Motors, Enron, WorldCom, Lehman Brothers, and many others declared bankruptcy during the 2008 financial crisis. Again, not financial advice, but if you are investing, be cautious to pick businesses with the financial resources to weather the storm. It's preferable to let inflation slowly eat away at the fortune than to face a recession without enough liquidity. Despite high inflation, some corporations like Microsoft, Berkshire Hathaway, and Apple are sitting on an enormous pile of cash. All you need to do is look at the balance sheet of the company to determine how liquid it is. You should have no trouble finding their financial statements if they are a publicly traded corporation. And don't expect every business to have as much cash on hand as Apple does, which is over $200 billion. You will understand why this is so important when we talk about the number 1 strategy. Number 2. A recession is sometimes an opportunity. Although it may seem that a recession is the worst moment to launch a business, the reality is completely different. Competing with elite players during an economic expansion is challenging. Startups have the chance to succeed during crisis, while large firms are sidetracked by massive bureaucracy and cost reduction measures. For example, Uber was established in 2009. It was valued at $50 million in 2011, and it is now valued at $50 billion. Another example, WhatsApp was established in 2009 during the height of the financial crisis. In 2014, Facebook paid $19 billion to acquire WhatsApp, and it is worth much more now with over 2 billion users. Since 2018, WhatsApp generated $17.8 billion in revenue. There are numerous additional instances like Square, Venmo, and Pinterest, and the most notable, Bitcoin. In fact, Bitcoin was created because of the 2008 financial crisis. Satoshi Nakamoto created Bitcoin to take financial control back from financial elites and giving ordinary people a chance to take part in a decentralized financial system. This has led to the emergence of an entire industry and the creation of numerous millionaires and even billionaires. Consider companies like Coinbase, Binance, Gemini, and the individuals who created them. Today, the Coinbase founder Brian Armstrong is worth $2.6 billion. Changpeng Zhao, CZ, the founder of Binance, is worth $17.4 billion. Gemini's founders, the Winklevoss twins, Cameron and Tyler, are worth $2.2 billion each. And finally, number 1. Cash is king. An economic crisis is a moment of instability and is when having money on hand is most important. Because there is so much money in the economy, when business is booming, few people are concerned about it. People make dangerous investments without thinking about the repercussions. However, as soon as the federal government suggested that a recession is likely to occur, even the richest man in the world sold his bitcoins and started to increase his cash positions. All of a sudden, everyone started imitating Warren Buffett, who has long preferred cash over uncertain investments. His name has not been as notable over the past 2 years as somebody like Cathie Woods or Elon Musk, but that's what sets him apart. He is sitting on a mountain of cash waiting for the right moment. That is why I am cutting my spending as much as I can to prepare myself for the recession. Even while it may seem like a small amount to spend on a cool widget or a cup of coffee, they do add up over time. Everything I buy now costs a lot more due to the massive inflation we are currently experiencing. We may not get out of this high inflation until the following year. So, if I want to get through this high inflation, I am saving more now. There will be opportunities for me to buy some very good assets at a discount. As Warren Buffett has said many times, be greedy when others are fearful. There will be a lot of fears during the recession. The assets that I buy will be those that were bought by the big investors like Buffett at a much higher price. There you have it. These are only a few strategies for preparing for the next disaster. But in the end, you must take into account your particular situation, which will probably be unique from everyone else's. Please remember, do your own research. As usual, if you learned something valuable, please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more contents like this. You can check out more videos on the channel and share. See you in the next one.